don't want to leave the freaking just starting soon screen on for too long. Let me change my BGM. BGM. Make this one quieter. Yeah, this is gonna be my Pyro BGM for now. Hey there, Taco. What even is oatmeal? That's a good question. Very philosophical. Sure, but I welcome. Hello there. Hey there, Cody. Welcome back. I also changed a bit. Yeah, maybe. Also, Arika. Hey there, Arika. You shouldn't be awake, by the way. Why the hell are you awake? But yeah, Cody, I changed a tiny bit compared to last time. So, oh god, oh my god. Okay, I also hope that the freaking, what's it called, connection will be good, because as you saw, I am multi-streaming on both. I'm multi-streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, and as some of you may recall, I had some issues with streaming only on YouTube. So I'm hoping for the best that it's going to work out, but who knows, who knows. By the way, I'm resetting my camera, by the way. I'm calibrating. Okay. That's fine. Let me do this. You were such a sprout back then. Look at who's a big short tree. I'm not big and I'm not a tree. Okay, step up. To explain you a tiny bit, the stubbiest of trees. To explain only a tiny bit. So it's not necessarily that complicated. The Pyro that's so let's give you the in-character explanation and not some actual explanation here. In character, the Pyro you have seen so far is technically has been a VTuber model. And this right now is of course the real me. It's the real me, and I'm now streaming in flesh and everything. This is not a VTuber, this is the real me, of course. But if you want the real question, my old model is just has been 5 or 6 years old, and in these 5 years there have been a lot of developments in just the technology that people can use for tracking and just general quality. So it was about time for me to upgrade a bit, and I also felt like there's some changes in, you know, over 5 years people change a bit. So this feels more accurate to how I want to appear at the moment on the internet. So that's why I'm suddenly now bunny with giant squirrel tail, and got this new room as well. Dropping in to say hi. Gotta watch this later when I get home. Okay, Pate. This will be this will have a VOD both on Twitch and on YouTube. I've actually Dude, I forgot so much about Kubera. I reread a good bunch of chapters, but I'm still very much not in the 100% of remembering things. I'm gonna go now. I have a 10% battery. Best of luck, my bunny baby boy. I'm not your baby boy. What the frick? Hello, Huggy Wuggy. Welcome to stream. I hope you had a nice day, and it's only going to get nicer from here on out. Yeah. So what I remember. So let me actually. I'm just going to put on the. Actually, let me. Where am I? Let me move to the side, and I'm going to push my desk away. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. And with that, I'm going to disappear for a second and reappear over here. No, my ears are cut off. What the frick? Let me pull myself a bit down. Okay. And a bit to the left, I guess. Let's stay here. Hello, Lewis. Welcome. Hope you slept well. Falling Petals is a good amount of flashbacks, you might be lucky there. Right. Whoa, oh my god, you're seeing my YouTube thing. Let me switch over to this picture here, which I had opened for the entire day. I see the Lewis message behind me. I'm not sure if... Okay, chat works. At least Lewis shows up. I had a weird dream, but didn't he sleep? That's good, that's good. That's what we need in life. Sleep is important, even if some dreams might mess with us. Okay, yeah, this is the setup we will go for now. Why the fuck is it the night setup? Give me a second. I want the day setup here. Why is it the night setup? Put this here and delete this here. Okay, it's still day. It's still day. The sun hasn't set. Okay, and I'm going to pull my OBS over on this screen. So when you see me looking to the right, that's where you guys are. That's where OBS is. I also want my mouth tracking still needs to improve. I need to change that. You're gonna see me side-eye to the right so much because I need to see chat. I'm actually going to make it so that I can do that. So if I do it like this, wait, I can pop out chat and then make you guys ginormous because you're so huge and delicious. Okay. Yeah, sure, that works. I've never seen a bunny with this kind of tail before. That's because I'm not a 100% bunny. I have the bunny ears because I'm half bunny. I'm half bunny, half squirrel. Hello Ryu, welcome to stream. Yeah, the tail comes from a squirrel. As you... wait, I can... Nah. Yeah, I'm half bunny, half squirrel. Let's just go with that. What I remember from the mythical island was that Lise died, but not in Mythical Island. Lise died before from the airship thing, where Asha could have saved her but didn't, and then she died, and then Kubera saved her life, and then Utah was his name, arrived and brought Lise to safety a bit, like not safety, back onto the ship, where Asha was a bit confused that Lise was still alive. But I guess she had her ideas of how Lise actually managed to survive. So that also brought up the Asha suspicions are on the highest degree at the moment. And there was the entire theory from me that I remember that some faction is trying to kill Lise, not only Asha. And Asha is kind of conflicted about working together with the faction at this point, I think. Because it seems like they are trying to kill all the different people that hold the names of the gods for whatever reason. Something about names holding power, and they wanting, if less people with the name live, then maybe the god gets forgotten, or maybe the god gets more powerful. She saw Yuta's scarf with Lise there too, so she probably knows it was Yuta. Right, the foreskin. I remember the foreskin. And this specific panel was, I forgot white guy's name. I know he is a priest, and I know he's married to another priest. I think he was married to the priest who was wearing the mask. The weird, ugly goblin mask. Beautiful goblin mask, of course. Okay, it seems also that chat is working well. I don't know if chat is big enough for you to actually read it, but it is behind me. Saha was the name. Yeah. A very bishonen. Well, not shonen. He's just a pretty man, not pretty boy. And our boy, was it Run? It was Run. Run seems devastated in this panel because I don't necessarily remember what they were talking about and everything, but I know that they are heading towards the Temple of Wind, where Asha, Lise, and so on are. And I think Run just learned that Asha is after the life of Lise, or that Asha, like, he learned more about the whole thing about Asha, because he had to come to the Temple of Saha. Saha did some research with this scanning of name tool, and then they needed a second like very powerful mage to do another scanning or something, because only one mage only gets to do it once. Yeah. Ran and Saha were checking the name search machine for people named Kubera. Yeah, but it was something why Saha checked something and then they needed Ran to do it again because they wanted to check multiple things or something. Probably saw some stuff in the process. Yeah, he either, I don't remember. I think he's 100% suspecting Asha on some stuff, because I think that he there was this thing of like, oh, there's this Kubera person who is on the airship, or supposed on the airship, but then she wasn't on the airship anymore. So that's something, I think, if I remember correctly. So he kind of put one and one together that render Avestan. Oh no, Lewis is going to limit test it. Oh no. So he might be thinking the worst things happened. Saha was the one who insisted for guilty verdict on Asha's trial for those murders. Oh, Asha was on the guilty side? Saha was on the guilty side? Hello, Cozy Sweater. Hey there. Hey there, hey there, hey there. It works, Lewis, it works. Okay, let's go into Falling Petals. By the way, Lewis, if you remember correctly, those accidents, of course. Those accidents. I'm doing fine, Cozy. How are you doing? I'm just returning to reading this story after. You know what? I'm checking this. I can't check this. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm just going on my YouTube. And I'm checking when was my last Kubera stream. No, I don't want to watch Enya's head content right now. I just searched for Pyro's head. Who is that? Who is Pyro's head? Who's topping me? Anyways, my last Kubera stream was 5 months ago. 5 months ago. So see, I do remember a lot of things. I do remember a lot of things after 5 months, but but it's there is some forgetting. Oh my god, Cozy's licking the chat. But we're getting into Falling Petals, and yeah, Lewis, this was the webtoon I talked about with you at some point, which was Kubera and the entire thing of Hindu gods and different aspects from that place. So yeah. Good morning, Haku of the Tubes. Good morning, Haku. Welcome to this bunny. Back to the Kubera. Actually, you know, at some point I was closer to catching up with you. Now I don't even know where you are. I haven't checked your Kubera uploads because I felt bad for pausing Kubera for so long. Chat is always licking the stream. Chat is a pervert. Anyways. Audio seems to be fine. Let me recheck one last time. I am going into the yellow almost, and music is about 50 to 35 minus decibel. So that should be okay. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Yes. Okay. How did it go with the thing I instructed you about? Oh, it's my girl! She's finally... my blue Enya. Except that I actually find this woman attractive. Haku hasn't started season 3 yet. How far... I missed the Kubera and Ichi the Witch videos, but take your time, man. Yeah. Take your time, Haku. You are a busy man. Always catching up with all of those anime. Okay. Okay, now we go into Kubera for real. Sagara. But I forgot the blonde woman's name. I know she is a Garuda, and I know she's an extremely powerful Garuda, as in she's not a Nastika. she's the one below Nastika, and she is the final evolution stage. What was below Nastika again? I am part squirrel. I'm both. I inherited the rabbit ears from my... Well, let's not go into that detail so far. But I inherited them from one of my parents and the squirrel tail from my other parent. Let's not say father or mother. I am not going to tell you which is which yet. Sampati, that was her name, because she was very sympathetic. Sampati. 5th stage, Rakshasa. It was Rakshasa, okay. Yes. I found him, but I didn't kill him. Why not? First of all, half of his blood is from Garuda, so you have to be more careful about killing him. And secondly, he may have grown recently. Oh, Yuta. Right, Yuta went into 2nd stage, right? He's not first, or is he 3rd stage? We saw him as kid, and then I assume when we saw him with Lise and everyone else, he was 2nd stage, and then he evolved into 3rd stage? But he didn't look strong enough to cause us any worry. The more you drag this out, the more time he'll get used to. The more time he'll have to get used to his newly grown body and continue getting stronger. It's 1st stage, yeah, 3rd stage, yeah. Still, he's only a 1st stage. There's the answer, by the way. Plus, his crime is far too great to just beat him to death. Right. If I remember correctly, of course, Yuta is the name he got by Lise. It's not his real name. What was his real name? Natayu? Something like that. But the name he got, or he took, was the name of either the child or little sibling of Sampati, if I remember correctly. But Yuta doesn't seem to recall that, I think. Jatayu. It was Jatayu, not Natayu. I don't intend on spoiling your personal vendetta, but just make sure that it doesn't get in the way of our plan. It will make things hard for us if he shows up again and starts interfering. Yamaruna called him Jatayu. That won't happen. I've already found a way to keep him from budging an inch. Has she? I don't remember. Has she witnessed Lise? That would make the most sense if she had witnessed Yuta and Lise interacting and was like, she could easily threaten like, oh, I will kill Lise if you don't behave. I think that's probably what this is about. Yeah. I don't remember how many chapters part 2 had, but for now we're just going one step at a time. Falling Petals 1. It has 8 chapters, so I think we should be capable of reading it in one stream. But if it turns out to be too long, I might half it. But it should be we should be capable of doing it. As far as I remember, Sampati saw the escape pod in which was Lise. She was shown in orbit when Yuta rescued Lise, but we don't know what she saw. Oh right, she was so far outside that she was aura farming in orbit. You said you managed to start floating after studying on your own, right? Could you tell me how you managed to do that? Leda Halo or Halo? Pure blood, 25 years old. Mira's personal assistant. Well, Ran told me not to tell anyone else about it. You're going to have to explain the situation to me in as much detail as possible. Otherwise, I won't know what the problem is, so it will be hard to help you. Sorry, Ran. I really have to learn the spell. Well, you see, what happened is... Is that how you really did it? Did you really practice Bhavati Kubera in such a way like that? Shh! You can't tell anyone else about this! Please keep it a secret. I'm asking you as a favor. Alright. Now first of all, when you're steering yourself in mid-air, she's so... He or she, I'm not sure, I don't know, is so going to tell that to the priestess little girl. Or to her father. Huh? You're already done? Yes, although I couldn't check her Bhavati Kubera here, I'm pretty sure that she will succeed almost right away when she tries outside Areor Plateau. She kept asking me to repeat things because there were a lot of words that she didn't know, but aside from that, she has a remarkable level of understanding and memory. Very impressive. I figured her physical abilities would be excellent since she passed, claiming first place in the test of the sword, but I didn't know she would be so bright as well. Lisa's bright? Since when? Since when? Oh. Mirha, this is just my personal opinion, but shouldn't Lise know the truth too, since she's the victim directly involved in this? No, not yet. Once I have taken Lise away from Asha, and they have grown a little distant, when Lise won't be too shocked by this, then I'll tell her. Always has been. Oh no, not again. Okay, so we got the next person who wants to take Lise away from Asha. First, like Run wanted to do it, Yuta wanted to do it, now Mirha wants to do it. Everybody wants to take away Lise from Asha. Which is, like, Asha is so complicated. I know she's not a good person. She's a gray person. She is morally ambiguous. So she could have saved Lise, but didn't do it, because technically she wants Lise dead. But she didn't want to actively kill Lise, so she didn't do it either. So she is kind of conflicted on what to do, because she seems to care for Lise, either because of something that Lise's father did, or because she actually grew attached to Lise. But it's not entirely clear to me. But the Grand Magician's Conference is right around the corner. I'm not sure whether we should defend Asha in spite of having all of this evidence, but we should just stand by and watch this absurd situation where a victim trusts her own assailant. It may be hard to understand, but just do as I say. Great shocks follow great trusts, after all. Asha will leave once the meeting is over anyway, and it won't be too late to tell Lise the truth once they have grown distance. Lise, how's your Bhavati Kubera coming along? Mirha, I learned a lot, thanks to you. Thank you. Long, I might be 100 episodes behind you, not gonna lie. Yeah, Matcha, you kinda dropped this story. Where's Asha, by the way? It looks like Asha needed a bit of alone time. While I'm waiting for her, come with me. There's something I want to show you. Something you want to show me? By the way, I'm stuck with this BGM because I'm not entirely sure if I will get copyright struck. I didn't really get any punishment for using the Fire Emblem OST, but we're just going to keep using this, even if it's the same song. If you go crazy listening to the same song for 3 hours, you can tell me. We can try to find something else. There is probably other non-copyrighted songs or something that I can use, but we're just sticking with the Pyro BGM for now. It's not custom made, but it's something I yoinked from a very talented artist called Rahura, I think, if I remember the name correctly. It should be Rahura. These are clothes that your mother wore? Wow, for someone to wear clothes like these. I know what you're imagining, but they actually didn't really suit her that well. Yeah, they're kinda spicy. My mother was a half in the Ashuras, and her face was the shorter part of her. Is Lise going to wear this? Dang. Just make your own music forehead? No. Still, my father loved my mother in spite of her face. So he still hasn't thrown out all these clothes. By still, guess she means that these clothes are supposed to be thrown out, then her mother must not be with her anymore. Kurgo made some brutal comments in the blog, lol. Brutal comments about which part? The mother? Hey Mirha, don't be sad. I kind of know how hard it is. Sorry to bring up your sad memories. Is there anything you want to wear? You can take something as souvenir for coming along all the way here. What? No, these are your mother's clothes. How could I? It's better for someone who suits them to wear them. Plus, it's unfair for the clothes to be stuck in a closet like this. Or are you uncomfortable wearing the clothes of someone who's dead? No, it's not dead. The clothes in general are very revealing. You can see why Mirha never wore her mother's clothes. Their sizes are too different. Kinda brutal, but also honest. It's true, But I like Mirha's body type. You guys were judging me. That was the Omniscient Video's viewpoint side that was judging me. In case you forgot, Ashura clan is the Bug clan. Just imagine how Mira's mom looked like. Her dad was freaky. See you later. Don't want to spoil myself. Have a good stream. Thank you, Matcha, for coming here and checking out. Have a good day. And make sure to do your lease. Or whatever. Man, I hate this guy. No, he's a good friend. There was an earlier one too. Sagara, it's been a while. Now that I think about it, Sagara and Mira have the same apparent age of 15. They're not 15! The reason why Sagara looks more mature is because Sagara stuff is padded in her clothes. I think it's because she wears high heels. Sagara doesn't pad her things. Nah. I mean, I can see that Mira looks maybe like a teenager a bit, but I feel like Sagara doesn't look 15. I feel like she does look like in her early 20s or something. Like, she could be, like, her physical appearance could be 18 to 24 or whatever. Yeah. Mira though, yeah, I guess she kind of is in the 15 to, like, she's youngy. Then try something on and don't feel bad. How about this? It looks like it will bring out your best features. That one's kind of, I feel like I should wear that when I'm a bit older. So you're looking for something more brightly colored and younger looking. Let's see, did my mother have any clothes like this? Here comes Asha. Saha passed through the checkpoint. You know that with his abilities he can watch over his entire city and attack you, right? I'm going to give you one last chance to talk to Lise, but I suggest you don't do anything suspicious. Yo, is she naked? This silhouette kinda makes her appear naked. Hey Asha, this looks like her. Was this? This was not the wedding. This has wedding dress vibes. But I don't think that's the wedding dress of her mother. Hey Asha, looks like you're busy even here. We haven't seen each other all day. To be continued. Oh yeah, there's the excerpts person. That's a lot of stuff. It's been a while, now that I think about it. Wait. Purposely, I'll play the trick to make it look like she was nude. That's the thing that Cody mentioned. Man's guest early in his season 2 prologue. Take place in Elf or the Ashra clan is a clan of influx, so Mira basically had a bug face. That's the same clan that Hura belongs to. Sakura said if he shows up again and starts interfering, she's referring to when Yuta showed up in Kali Bloom and almost prevented her escape. Okay. Yeah, those are the blog entries, but I never know. Sometimes they're not in the comments, or they're not in the top comments, maybe. Hey Asha, looks like you're busy even here. We haven't even seen each other all day. I just put this on because Mirha insisted. I'm just trying it on for a minute. I know it looks weird on me. I've never tried on clothes like this before. It suits you. Really? Hooray! Look at me, people in temple. Asha says it suits me. Send them calls. Not all episodes have them in comments. Thank you. Lise, what do you think about the accidental manslaughter incident of 29 people? Give me a moment. I'm pulling something up. I'm pulling something up for you guys. Where did the download go? Here. Downloads. Folder. Oh, it's in the wrong download folder. Dude, this is literally this. Who Who the heck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down. Hey Lise, what do you think about the accidental manslaughter event of 29 people? When someone puts you in the spot about some controversial political event, for real. So what's your opinion on the most? No. Dad, wasn't it a mistake? They say that even monkeys fall from teeth sometimes, so a genius like you could certainly make a mistake. 29 times? Yeah, 29 times. Classic Asha's conversational skills. Though, to be fair, she started with some small talk first. I mean, Lise kinda pulled her into the small talk first, right? It wasn't Asha initiating the small talk. The first thing Asha initiated was instantly this. Why? Am I supposed to believe that you killed 29 people on purpose, Asha? No way. You're the one who leaped in front of the terrifying high-rank Shura to rescue me. If you were such an evil person to kill 29 people on purpose, you'd have just left me to die. All 29 of those deaths were accidents, at least to me. No matter what anyone else says. Do you really think they were all mistakes? Of course, at least to me they're mistakes, no matter what anyone else says. Are you stupid? You know that's not true. Why would you believe that when you know the truth? Is that Lisa's dad? The answer is no opinion. I really, because you still have so many paths open to you. I have faith in the possibility of the future. The possibility that a child who went down the wrong path so early will return to the truly righteous path. Yeah, this must be the dad. I forgot I'm green. What do you mean you're green? Oh, because you're a YouTube member? No. Oh? You're still green around the ears? Let me help you with that. Let me just... I licked the green away from your ears or something. I love the tongue. Yeah. Man, I'm cute. Possibility of the future. Possibility that a child who went down the wrong path so early will return to a truly righteous path. So wait, Asha actually... I don't know if I knew this so far. That, I know that the manslaughtering, the 29 people, happened some time ago. But this with Lisa's dad, if it's Lisa's dad, it seems to be Lisa's dad. This makes it seem like it was quite a while ago, just after Asha passed the magic exam. Or actually, I think this is just me. I think Asha in this panel here looks younger than she did in the flashback together with, I think her name was Brilith, when she and Fire Baristas did the magic exam together. I think she looks younger here, but that would beg the question of when exactly she killed the people. And I think this is a very interesting take of like, hey, you were a very young kid, I don't know, like, yeah, I guess you were responsible, but I want to think that you can return to the truly righteous path. And it reminds Asha that Lise is so similar to her dad in personality. Before Gore, they're so similar in personality, I guess. Are you confident your opinion won't change in the future? Yeah? Then promise me, no matter what happens, you'll believe me. Okay, I promise, Asha. Falling Petals too. Huh? Why are so many people? Is there some kind of event happening in the temple? Miss Asha Rahiro, your presence is required immediately. If you cooperate, we will treat you in a way befitting of an AA++ level magician. But if you refuse to cooperate and try to escape or fight back, It will be seen as an acknowledgement of your crimes, and you will be treated as an A-rank magic criminal. Huh? What's going on all of a sudden? Why are you arresting her? Run? What are you doing here? What's happening? What's all this? I'll explain it to you soon, but just step back for now, Lise. The 29 cases which are deemed accidental manslaughter, in addition to the 3 remaining unresolved cases, Asha's being charged with the intentional murder of 32 people. What? Alright, now since Sampati is back and we finished surveilling Rintello, shall we map out a complete picture of the situation? Stupid Agni. Rintello itself isn't a very difficult target right now with our forces. The problem is if someone disrupts our plans. The biggest hindrance is definitely this die. Stupid poo-poo head. Very, very mature of you, Miss Ananta Queen. Do any of you have the courage to face Agni now? Sampati, not even you? If he's summoned by a summoner, I won't lose in terms of power. The problem is his insight. Unlike other 5th stage Rakshasas, I'm just barely over 5,000 years old, so I'm not at an age where I could defeat Agni's insight. I would have to fight with my eyes closed. If my eyes were to accidentally meet Agni's and he read my thoughts, it would cause a lot of problems. I think it's funny how she says, I would need to fight with my eyes closed, like it's a problem. I don't, like, she has her eyes closed even right now. Man, Agni is just hot. You know, with my fitting thinking for a 15-year-old, eh? I mean, I won't say that there aren't adults who think like that. There are adults who think like that. I don't want to be... Oh, she opens her eyes now. Ananta, the Nagaraja of Vasudeva. Lewis coming in with the other effects. Lewis can probably predict the entire story. I don't want to be burdened with the risk of revealing the fate of the Garudas to a 5th Zen god. If it were anyone else, I could get rid of them for you, but I'm going to have to refuse to face off Agni. So you're saying that you could win, but you want to avoid any possible danger. Alright, I understand. From your perspective, there's no reason to accept such risks. Then what should we do? I'm the only one here who's old enough that his insight wouldn't work on. So should I fight Agni myself? What do you mean, Sagara? I'd rather find a way to persuade Chess. He's as old as the universe itself, so Agni's insight wouldn't work on him. And he may only be a 4th stage Rakshasa, but he can temporarily use the power of a 5th stage. I'm sure he could keep Agni's hands tied until we achieve our plan. I appreciate your concern for me, but it wouldn't be easy convincing that guy, Chess. It may just turn out to be a waste of time. Still, it's better than putting yourself in danger, Sagara. This isn't like the last time when we had to directly raid Atera, since our target this time is Rintello. Agni's top priority is protecting the summoner in Atera, so it would be hard for him to directly interfere with us at Rintello. Besides, see that mountain over there? Bang! Did she just... Taraka had sealed off this transcendental skill. But I tried it out recently for fun, and it actually worked. I was shocked. I don't know how, but Taraka is dead. So I got some useful transcendental skills back. Right. Yuta's... I don't remember exactly what it was. It was Yuta's mom, but it isn't technically his real mom. And I don't know if it actually is Taraka in that sense, or if everybody just thought that it was Taraka. That part I forgot about. I know she died. But the problem is that Gandharva has regained his transcendentals as well. Ooh, will Papa Smurf return? Papa Smurf, last we've seen, was together with the Rabbit Shura girl. Like Rabbit, was it half or a quarter? Being a geographer in the world of Kubera must be a nightmare. Oh, suddenly this mountain has exploded. Here's the excerpts. Sakura can draw better than that, but won't bother because it's Agni. The back of Lisa's dress is revealing. Some of you are saying that Yuta should have seen Lise wearing it, but terrible things would have happened. Yeah, he would have tried to eat her up. Literally. Lisa's comment that even monkeys fall from tears, a common idiom in Korea, was also said by Ran Syrov to his brother Lutz, who failed to properly modify the height of bondage. Asha's request, Promise Me, as well as Lisa's response appear in the Season 2 prologue. Prison of Silence in the crowd scene first appeared in episode 297. The same episode we learned that Kazak killed Taraka. Okay, it was Kazak, yeah. When he went to Kali Bloom, he got ambushed in the way, kills her and told Yuta. Okay, it was Kazak in the other dimension thing when he used his dimension gate thingy, right? Yeah. The 3 additional cases of homicide were those previously mentioned in episode 293. In documents Rish Seran sent to Saha On, of which Asha had been acquitted. Okay, it was the thing where Rish already wanted to mess with Asha, or like reveal things that Asha did. Isn't that Run? I heard he just became an AA. An AAA? An anonymous alcoholic? Since his magic exam score was so high, will he participate in Asha's trial? It may be hard to accept, but that's the current situation. Among the 32 cases for which Asha was designated a prime suspect, 29 of them were deemed accidental killings. The remaining 3 cases ended up being unsolved because of insufficient evidence. But after investigating the cases recently, all 32 of them had something in common. There was a clear motive for murder and plenty of evidence to support this. He said it was the name of a god, right? That's right, the name of a god. All 32 people had the name Kubera. I'm always thinking, it was always one last god Kubera and not just Kubera. But we've already seen that there is not just one god remaining. So, who he's a reference to? Kubera or Asha? Which one? The Kubera question is also, like, Kubera is alive. We have seen him. And we have seen Agni. So there's at least 2 gods alive. And Asha seems to hold the power of, was it Vishnu? I think it was Vishnu. No, it wasn't Vishnu. It was not Vishnu. What was Asha's god? Because she has the ability to turn back time and revive people with that. It was not Vishnu. It was some other god. Rish? No. Come on. Where's the Kubera heads? Who was it again? Claude? No, he hasn't been here. Then where has he gone? I've looked everywhere in the city that he might have gone. There are no records of him exiting the checkpoint either. It was Vishnu. Okay, it was Vishnu. Couldn't he have just left without passing through the checkpoint? He used to do that sometimes at Rent Hello, so that people wouldn't find out right away that he had left. Isn't he going to help us at all in a mess like this? Huh? Wait, I think Claude wrote this. Huh? He didn't even leave a message for me, so why would he leave a note here? Hey Han, why don't you put your name on the Do Not Resurrect list now? I strongly recommend that you look into the truth of the Vishnu spell and seriously consider it. If Sierra shows up, tell him that I've gone to do some part-time work. I'll buy him a drink when I get paid. Entering Furycraft territory, we had to wait to avoid spoiling you, lol. You can use the spell Hoti Vishnu, which shouldn't be available. Yeah. Which was why my theory of that she somehow got the powers of the god or something. And now Claude, who was the priest of death. I don't know if he was called priest of death or if it was some other element, but it holds the aspect of death. Is telling, what was her name again? She was one of my favorite characters and I forgot. Because Sierra is the brown-haired one, and the brown-haired one was priest of Earth. And she is priestess of... Is it Chaos? And she died, but got resurrected. And somehow Claude is saying, you need to look into the truth of the Vishnu spells. So something about being resurrected by the Vishnu spell is... And Priest of Death. Theo is the Priest of Chaos. Theo, that was her name. There's the taco. We're tuning into the peak stream, to a peak stream for 15 minutes from... Damn, he got a badge over there. Now we got a Twitch taco. What could be so bad about using the Vishnu spells to be revived? Is it that your lifespan will get shortened, but if you get revived, then your lifespan getting shortened is like the least of your worries, because you already like returned from death, and it's technically you got more time than you would have had anyways. Is it something else? There must be some other downside, but I just can't think of anything. Is it that if you get resurrected by the Vishnu spells, you're just for like instantly guaranteed to go into Agni, like into the hell, instead of going to the heaven aspect? I don't know. A drink? What a load of crap! When I meet him, I'll punch his jaw right off. Sierra, go and vent your anger in your own temple, please. Claude? What are you doing here? What do you mean? Can't I be here? I have a right to attend the Grand Magician's Conference too. Claude Yui. Pureblood, 29-year-old. Rintello, Priest of Death. Magic rank AA. 3rd place magic ranking. 2nd place before Run was promoted to AA. Wait, Run is the new 2nd place? I must have missed that Run was the 2nd place. And Saha remains as number 1, I guess? I think it was Saha. I'm not questioning about your qualifications. I asked you why you're here. Where the heck did you take a transport ship? In Kali Bloom. I didn't originally intend on taking the ship, but I fell asleep on the ship as I was loading a gift onto it that I wanted to give to Asha. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in Pyro Plateau. Wow, the view is sick. This is such a cool city. Did you know that Pyro Plateau was the 5th out of a list of the 100 best travel destinations for healing yourself? This was the only place where a city itself was ranked. Remarkable. Hey Claude, did you come here for a tour or something? Yeah, Run had a really high score. The first places are reserved to the AA ranks. So Run skipped to the 2nd with the promotion. Yeah, the first 2 places are saved for the AA ranks, but he didn't only skip to like the lowest AA rank, like the lowest place for an AA rank. He even skipped above some of the AAs. A. This is like saying AA over and over again is making me stutter. I should have the alerts on, right? Yeah. It's better to be attending a meeting here than messing around in Kali Bloom, though. Natasha Ross, Pureblood, 37 years old, professor of magic at Ilov University, formerly the top candidate for Priestess of Fire. Magic rank A, 13th place magic ranking, 12th place before Run was promoted to AA. Yeah, scores were higher than Claude, who was previous. Oh, Claude was the 2nd place, not What is the mask-wearing woman's name again? I think we have seen Natasha before in some conversation between Natasha and Brilef. Holy heck, is that an AA reference? Layla, right. Phew, I wish you had even a half of Irie's personality. Claude, how is it that you haven't grown at all since university? Are you even going to attend the meeting? Erin Oh wait, I can't. No, I really need to. I really need to put these toggles somewhere else. My reaction toggles are on control and then the different numbers. Wait, can I? Okay, I can't click it with this either. My reaction, my different toggles are on pressing control and then the numbers 1 to 9. But because if you click control and then the numbers, you switch to the tab of that number. So I can't click them. Natasha was in Brilliff's flashback. She didn't want to return the staff of Agni until Brilliff got her license. Lol. Why I'm stopping here, by the way. Haku, I see you like this woman. You like the Florussi, Haku? I guess you like the Florussi. Holy, not the Florussi. You love it. Also 33 years old. Professor of Magic at Ilov University. Magic rank A, 15th place. Magic rank, yeah. Okay. Yeah, well... I hear that Saha is going to bring up Asharahiro's accidental manslaughter incident for discussion at the moment. A meeting. I was wondering if I could be of some help. We don't need your help, so just forget it. Ran is the only AA whose help I need for this trial. I'm not speaking to any other AAs until the trial is over. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to help with the trial. I'm talking about after the trial. If those 3 unresolved cases are confirmed to be murders, she could even get the death penalty. If you found an executioner. Most people don't want to be the executioner, so isn't it nice if someone volunteers to do it? He's kind of freaky like that. Asha. It's not true, right? You've been framed. You've been killing people with the name of a god. It's ridiculous. Then what about me, Asha? Why am I still alive? You had plenty of chances to kill me, but you didn't. You protected me, even while knowing my real name. No check of posture? Huh? Doesn't exist? I got the stretch and posture check. With a high rate. I got this. I need to change these, man. I need to change these rewards. Or do you mean no check of posture? Oh, he really. sorry, I don't see my activity feed. I don't see my activity feed. I should make it somehow pop up on stream, but I don't know. I need to look into how I can make it pop up on stream. Can I pop out activity feed? Let me pull this over here so I can see it on my other monitor. I missed the hydrate and the posture check. But it's also true. It's also true that I hate Taco. His stupid, big manly body. Putting in some water. Not sure if you can hear me glug it. Let's see if you can hear that. And a tiny posture check. Ooh. Yeah, I drank something now. I usually go like 3 hours to 4 hours during these reading streams without drinking something. You said that you would protect me. Something is wrong. There's been a misunderstanding. Tell them your side of the story. I'll help you. I'll help clear your name. So just... say that it's not true. Tell me that you didn't kill those people on purpose. Tell me... Don't just keep your mouth shut. Tell me it's all a lie. Please. Do you think it was a coincidence that I happened to be passing by your village at that time? Why would I be in some remote village in the middle of nowhere? I was looking for people with the god's name. The Shores were also looking for people named after the god. If I find them first, only one person dies. the Shuras find them first, the entire village gets destroyed. When you think about it, Lise, if you had died earlier, your village probably wouldn't have been as damaged as the way it was. Think whatever you like about the fact that I didn't kill only you and brought you all the way here, either in a positive way or a negative way. The results of that trust and whatever guilt you'll feel afterwards, it's all on you. And there we have future Lise again. Creek. That's a very long creek. Some would even call it a super creek. Anyone got that? Anyone caught that? Okay. Pero. If I can't put it on my numbers, where the hell can I put it? Because I already got like my toggles on Q words and ASDFGHJ, I think. Actually, yeah, let me untie my... What the fuck just happened? No. There, now my hair's untied. Okay. My hair untied is on Control R, so I just reloaded the... I just reloaded the chapter. Okay, I need to rethink. I can't have the toggle on control something. It needs to be something else. It needs to be like Alt 1, Alt Q. Because control obviously is command stuff. So I can't use control. I need to change that. But yeah, let's keep my hair open for now. If I find the... Let me also pull out the Enya. And pull myself. Wait, must a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's stay like this. If I find them first, only one person dies. The Shuras finds them first, the entire village gets destroyed. Oh no, she's naked and hyperventilating. That's the worst when that happens. When you think about it, Lise, if you had died earlier, your village probably wouldn't have been as damaged as the way it was. Her village is still a mystery as well, because we saw it get destroyed by Maruna, Chicken Boy. But there was also the inspection by that brown-haired creator lady, together with some other woman, and they came to the conclusion that nobody died, that there was no death energy or whatever in the place. So like, what happened to her mother? Who is her mother? Is her mother someone powerful if her father is someone powerful? What happened to everyone else? We know that the one guy and his brother are still alive, but like, what's about the rest of the village? She's still not naked. To be continued. By the way, when I say she's still not naked, I don't want her to be naked, but Currygum still keeps on teasing. Asha's cell is a larger version of the prison cell of silence. Even with A++ treatment, if you are under suspicion of magical murder, you must comply with this order. Normally, Lise and Ran would amicably and cheerfully talk about her outfit, but now, Lorraine with Rouge. Okay, yeah. It's Rouge, the sister of Riche. If Theo will make any more appearances, she will appear more later. Natasha has already appeared 3 times. All the eyeliner and makeup. Sierra makes a word pun in Korean when she says that he is going to beat up Claude, but it does not translate well into English. Claude says here, the view is sick, but the literal translation is, this is worth killing for, which is a common Korean expression of extradition. That's a crazy saying. Damn, this view is worth killing for. The spell Hotiyama is typically used to execute prisoners who are given a death sentence. Claude is proficient with that spell, so it's not surprising that he offers Saha his service as executioner. I'm wondering something here. Where was it? First of all, I'm still confused how Sierra is supposed to be a male name. Sierra is such a female name in my head. I was about to ask you what the fuck. My bad, my bad. Sometimes you just say things, right? Tehe? Like, oh wait, not this one. My bad. Or is this one making me innocent? Before the Grand Magician's Conference began, Asha's magic usage records were examined. The estimated time of death, place, and causes of death of the 29 incidents deemed as accidental killings all matched Asha's record of deadly magic use. They were clearly proven to be murders. And although there was differences in the time frame for the 3 remaining unsolved cases, Asha could have easily tampered with the evidence if she used Hoti Vishnu. At the time, Hoti Vishnu was thought to be impossible to use, so they didn't even check the records. Thus, in order for her to be declared guilty of the unresolved cases, all that remained was a confirmation of Asha's record of her usage of Hoti Vishnu during that period. As a result of the inspection of her Hoti Vishnu usage records, Asha was confirmed to have used Hoti Vishnu more than 1,000 times since she entered the planet Vilrath in the year N5. Kubera, people got confused about this gender a lot. Kubera could keep explaining. Me too, and with that look as well. Sierra has a female name and looks totally female. Yeah. So 1,000 times? Like Hoti Vishnu was used to revive people. But it seems that Asha hadn't used Hoti Vishnu for a long time when it came to surviving, reviving Theo, right? So why did she suddenly want to offer it? Was it because the lease was there and she was like starting to have a change of heart of everything? Oh my thing. What just happened? Why did we just zoom all the way to the back? 1,000 times is crazy. 1,000 times kind of makes it seem like she killed them, revived them, and killed them again. Like she's actually some psychopathic killer. Ultimately, all of the unsolved cases were declared to have been intentional murders. And then the Grand Magician's Conference only had to determine her sentence. Well, Grand Magicians come conference. Spell itself just turns back time. Reviving people is a consequence of using it on the recently deceased. Yeah. So maybe she... I don't know. Magic ranking 100th place or less may enter main hall of Sky Tower. Hoti Vishnu is used to turn back time, not just revive. Yeah. For example, she used a spell to fix her hand that Yuta bit off. Oh, right. She also did some time-related stuff back then already. Picks up this old piece of junk for me. It's a pain to be writing this. Airi Yui. It's the sister of someone else, because we have seen a Yui before this. Invited instructor at Altera Magic Academy. Magic rank A+, 7th place magic ranking. The rankings from before run was promoted will now be omitted. Yeah, of course. Jeez, you're so demanding. You normally would have to take a transport ship from Kalibloom or Ilov to get to Aero Plateau. Just be grateful that you were able to come here directly from Altera. Quit complaining when my car is the only reason that you were able to get here before the meeting started. Lorraine Ratia. 37. Merchant, magic rank AA. 5th place magic ranking. Don't dead open inside moment. It's not. Come on, this is not a good design. Well, Grand Magicians come conference. Well, Grand Magicians conference come. Why are they selling cum? Huh? Hey, hold on, you can't take credit for everything. My teleporting was a big part of the reason you were able to cut down on travel time, you know? Rouge Seiran, Quarter, 35 years old. Quarters are twice as old as they look. Branch President of the Altera Magic Guild, Magic Rank A, 117th place. 17th place. Oh yeah, I'll give you 30% of the credit, Rouge. All that girl with the big butt did was take up 1.5 seats on the way here. Plus, since you can't use Kubera magic here, doesn't that make that Kubera magic expert just a high rank pushover? Excuse me? I can hear both of you. Now, we don't have time to bum around. We should go and prepare for the meeting in advance. But why do I see so many halves around here? Halves? Oh, you're right. I wonder why there are so many of them here. Strange. Halves don't usually come here since people in Pyro Plateau don't have a very good perception of them, and they can't even use magic, so it's not like they're here to attend the meeting either. I asked some of them and they said they were here for the meeting though. They're here as witnesses for Asha's trial. I'm not sure what they're testifying for, but anyway, Saha is vouching for all of them. Bustle. Crap, why are there so many halves? I came all the way here and now I have to put up with all of these halves flocking about. This sucks. Should I bump into one of them and pick a fight? Damn, she's racist. I was about to say I like her more now, but that would have been a joke and I feel like that would have been a bad joke. It's like Zoro being the minority hunter. Hold on, don't bother them over nothing. Saha vouched for them to be here. Saha? Then are these halves going to testify against Asha? Then I'll leave them be. After all, I came all the way here because I hold a grudge for not being at Asha's trial for the accidental manslaughter. Huh? Isn't that Run? I thought he had a phobia of halves. I would have though. Yeah, that's him. Seeing him sitting among all of those halves, I guess he's overcome his phobia a little. I guess not. Whew. How can he still be cowering in fear of halves when he's in AA now? It's just pathetic. He's more than capable of easily wiping out all of these halves here by himself if he chose to. I heard it's because of a trauma from the Great Upheaval. Isn't he just being weird though? It's not like he's the only guy who was assaulted by halves back then. He's just mentally weak. I lost my parents, husband, and children to the halves that I vouched for, but I only despise them, not fear them. Natasha, it doesn't sound as good as you think it does. He doesn't get over his little problem, he'll be nothing but a joke for the rest of his life. How many people out there would be willing to accept a pathetic disorder like that of the world the way that it is, unless it were his close family members? Excuse me, please let me pass. Hey, isn't she? That's his girl. Run. It's alright. It's okay now. So you don't need to be afraid. Man, I love their relationship. You're the one who was too busy to help me with my graduation project. Look how he almost has his arm over her shoulder. Actually, it's slightly more understandable. Yeah, it is slightly more understandable to despise people that have killed your husband, your family, your children, and so much that you care about. But there's also always the thing of generalizations, right? It was halves, but it was halves that got out of control because of situations. She's still racist, and it's like, I always try to think about it. This is a difficult topic. In a fantasy setting, I understand writing it like this, that she despises all the halves because technically all the halves did go crazy, but only a certain select obviously killed her family, because it wasn't all the halves in the world that killed her family. But to me as a person, it's always, if if I am in a fantasy world and an elf killed my family, I would distrust elves, but only hate the elf that killed my family. I would not hate all of the elves, because it's not all elves, it's that person. That's why it's just slightly. She's still racist, which isn't good. And it also is like, she could hate the Nastika, because the Nastika are the reason the halves went crazy, right? Because of the emotional resonance. So I guess hating the Nastika would make the most sense, being racist towards the Nastika. Looks like you've got more time on your hands now, Professor. It's pretty far from Misty Shore to Aero Plateau. What happened to the guy who was crying just a minute ago? Juan and Eileen said that they would look after Misty Shore, and since I'm a fairly high-rank magician in Misty Shore, I came on their behalf. Rana Remia, pure blood, 27 years old, professor of magic at Misty Shore University. She and Ran have been friends for 18 years. Magic rank A, 24th place magic ranking. We probably took it even more personally because it was the halves she sponsored that killed them, but still. Yeah, it's also like she trusted these people. But I would also guess that she probably killed them already, right? I would just assume, oh, they killed all of her family, and she knows that, and probably maybe even saw that happening in front of her eyes, so I assume that they are all dead. After working all day during the semester, the only thing you take time off for is to attend a meeting. Tits, when are you ever going to get a boyfriend? You'll be 30 before you know it. You want to talk for someone who's 10 years older than me? For quarters, age is just a number. Even now I look like a magic student if I put on a school uniform. You may get older more slowly, but you still can't stop it. Eventually you get older too and become an old man. But in my case, I could stop right here and not get any older. What do you mean? Not getting older? Are you still half asleep? Are you jet-lagged? Forget it. There's something I can get if I go back to Misty Shore with you after the meeting is over. What is it? What earth could it be for me to have to go with you in order for you to get it? Aww, no. I'll tell you later after this meeting is over. Huh? Anyway, congratulations on your graduation and for your AA promotion. You're starting to look a bit cool now that you're finally out of school. No. I know I shouldn't laugh, but I haven't had anything to laugh about lately, so seeing your silly face makes me laugh. Whose silly face? Rana, I really wish I could just go back to when I was in Misty Shore. If I hadn't started breaking through the waterways, I wouldn't have had to get stuck in the middle of all this. What will happen in the trial? I'm not sure if anyone will stick up for Asha after seeing all of that evidence. 15 minutes until the Grand Magician's Conference begins. Any high rankers from 1st to 100th place who have not entered yet, please make haste to enter the main hall. To be continued. I don't think it might be important, it might not be important, the part of Rana saying she has some way of not aging anymore. Banging Run at the moment, banging Run is no longer a professional liability. He's not a student anymore. It's not professor and student getting together now, so it's finally a good chance, right? We haven't seen Lorraine, Irie, and Rouge in a very long time, it's true. Irie got the martial arts outfit from Lorraine. Oh, right. Irie was the one fighting against the Ananta Shuras, right? Saying I almost didn't recognize her is wrong. I didn't recognize her. What's the difference between a comical and serious portrayal of Ran's half-phobia? Some of you have known about it for a while, but many of you will learn about it in this episode. There's a mysterious sense of distance between Ran and Rana, when they're more than friends but not quite lovers. He's just been crying, but now he's all proud like he never cried at all. He's Ran Syrov, 37 years old, never been in a romantic relationship. Ran doesn't have a face that can be made fun of as silly. He calls her ugly face in Korean. So why does Ran call her that? The data on the screen shows that Asha cast Hoti Vishnu 3 times in the year and 5. So we conclude that she was at least 10 years old when Vishnu approached her. Rouge is likely to follow her friends into the main hall since the rank is 117. version of the episode was originally released, fans recalled the deal Rana made with Eileen back in episode 59. I don't remember that deal. Clove fight, you occupied fighting him one-on-one. Right, it was Clove. To be honest, I think calling her ugly face is just the standard, like, necking each other of, like, if you like someone, you tease them a bit or be slightly mean to them. I think it's just that kind of relationship that Rana is doing that stuff. I don't remember the deal that Rana did with Eileen, and didn't. I can know that, so it's not a spoiler if I ask you. Didn't Lisa's dad die in N5? There was a deal involved helping Ran graduate, but I think the full details weren't revealed. Okay. Okay, Day. Episode 5. Mira is defending her? Yes, apparently Urha is also by her side. Not entirely sure, but knowing how he'll do anything for his daughter, he will probably disappeared in N5. That's what Ran said. Valtteri will probably... Doesn't matter. It's clear on what basics they're going to defend her. It's clear on what basis they're going to defend her, but your testimony alone as a witness from Carta is enough. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Mr. Saha! I need to talk to you for a moment. We'll talk after the meeting. She still acts all polite in public. If she dislikes him so much, why not just break off the engagement? He was declared dead after disappearing in N5 when the transport ship arrived from Carta. I do think that her using it 3 times might have been trying to turn back time to keep Rao alive if he's dead, or maybe it is for sure. I think those 3 times of her using it are 100% connected to something with Rao. If it's to turn him back alive by turning back time, if it's to stop him from leaving something, if it's to do something for him, maybe. When was Lise born? Was Lise born in N5 or in N0? Won't do any good to talk after the meeting. What are all those halves here for? Why did I summon those halves here? No one has guessed the reason yet. Can you? That's not what I mean. I'm asking you because I don't know. I clearly refused when Asha came to ask me for permission to use the life search system. The condition was that she needed permission from every AA. So at that time, when I refused, she shouldn't have been able to use the life search system. But after that, Asha got her hands on the results of the search, and she used those results for murder. Another AA searched on Asha's behalf. Are you suspecting me right now? Lisa's 16 right now. Okay. N0. It was not no. From her age, she was born in N0. Stefan, I thought you said, no! Lisa's 16 right now. I thought you were screaming. No! Lila and Claude are both possible candidates. I'm not just suspecting you. Anyway, if this is such an important issue, you could have talked to me about it before. Even if you suspect me, you could have at least, we're engaged after all. Keeping public and private affairs separate is a leader's most important virtue, Lorraine. If you're curious about something, you'll hear about it in the conference hall. How crafty of you to try and use your position as his fiancée is at times like this, after running away to Atera because he didn't want to get married to him. You should have just said yes and gotten married. Who knows, maybe he would have made exceptions if you two were married. N0 is a bit awkward to write. 28 incidents occurred over a 4-year period from year N7 to N10. And following a year-long period without any incidents, the 29th case occurred in N12. Asha was arrested for the 29th incident, the reason being that she received her magic license in N11. Okay, so she actually did, as I said. when I said in the flashbacks of the young Asha we saw talking about with Rao, and Rao was saying, oh, maybe you can return to the righteous path, I said she looked younger than during the magic exams, which was right, because the 29th incident was in N11. But considering that the 28 incidents occurred over the 4-year period of N7 to N10, and Rao disappeared apparently in N5, then Rao talking to Asha couldn't have been because of the killings she did with the Kubera. It must have been something else horrible that she did, which was the thing that we know Carter was destroyed by Gandharva, I think. So she did something. Something was there. Maybe the thing that Rao was talking about, that Asha did something to Vishnu, and that technically was later, like that something she did with Vishnu was considered morally bad or like evil. So that's the point where Rao talked with her, because the killings seem to have happened after, but not sure. It was easy to track her from the Magic Guild, since she holds a magic license, and while examining the magic records for the investigation of the case, the other 28 cases came to light. I like how you analyze this. Thanks. Yeah. If I know the numbers now, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm a big timeline guy in a lot of stuff. Here's one question that comes to mind. Why would Asha have tried to get her magic license in spite of the danger of the other 28 incidents being revealed? That is because she didn't know the location of the 20 ninja targets. The previous 28 people were all in places that she knew of, but the location of the last person had changed. That's why Asha earned her AA rank magic privileges in an attempt to use the live search system. Yeah, I love theories, that's why I also watch a bunch of reactions myself. Like, not to Kubera yet, because I'm not caught up myself, but to a bunch of other stuff. Man, you love Kubera, I feel off timelines. Now, as you can probably guess from what you've heard so far, Asha's motive for murder was a name. I have some strong evidence here to support this too. The original names of the victims whom Asha killed were all Kubera. They all had the same name? And the name of a god at that. How on earth? It was indeed the god of earth. See what Kurigom did for the notes at some point. Yeah, stories this big must have insane amounts of notes. Or they're just incredibly good at pantsing. If you don't know about story terms, pantsing, like pants as in the thing you wear and then just pantsing, is kind of like going with the flow, while what was the other? One was pantsing and the other was something else. I forgot what it was called. What was it? Pantsing and plotting. Very easily called plotting. But there's many multiple kind of ways to go. I'm not sure if plotting is actually considered to be like working out the plot. But there's also a mix, which is like plantsing. It's like you plan something, but you also pants something, which is like you only have like a loose like story frame and your characters, but you leave room for more spontaneous decisions or something. I personally am probably this kind of mixing form if I do something, because I do like planning stuff, but I really don't like planning everything, because I also wonder, how does it work if you have planned everything? Like, maybe you have planned your starting point, a middle point, and your ending. You know what those are, but you don't really know what in between is. That's kind of like what I feel like Oda is doing with One Piece. But people that say they have everything planned out, I feel like it's crazy. But Asha was not promoted to AA in the end. How did she use the search system? Run, is this what you were worried about? Really is shocking. No, this is just the beginning. There are even records from that time of Asha threatening the examiner in an attempt to obtain her AA rank, but she didn't end up getting it because she didn't take the barrier test. There's no way of telling how Asha managed to get her hands on the results of the life search system after that, but in the year N12 there were records of every AA logging into the system, except Saha. Claude, Layla and Lorraine. It appears that one of these three searched the name Kubera and shared the results with Asha, although I will have to look more into this. So, Saha, Claude, Layla and Lorraine. Saha, Claude, Layla and Lorraine are... Before Run, there were only 4 AAs, is that right? I guess so, because Lorraine is now rank 5, and she was probably before that rank 4 and was pushed one back by Run, so I guess there were 4 AAs and now with Run there's 5. The result of research searching the name Kubera in N11. So you can see there were over 30 people with this name at the time. But if Asha, having already received a sentence of accidental manslaughter, were to kill someone again and be arrested, it may not have ended with just a penalty that time, which is why she chose to use Hoti Vishnu. Yep, and we're shown the 4 silhouettes very early on in season 4. Season 4? Season 1. Asha used Hoti Vishnu to manipulate the evidence and successfully avoided being on the list of suspects after the 30th incident. This is when the 3 unsolved cases occurred. You can see that she used Hoti Vishnu to manipulate the evidence in the records of Hoti Vishnu users from that time. Oh my god, Asha, this is so shocking. Why would she do that? Having vanished after 3 unresolved cases, Asha showed herself again at Terra on the 10th month of N15. But my guess is that another murder occurred before this disappearance, which has still not come to light. Does the defendant's attorney wish to say anything in rebuttal to what has been said so far? No, I acknowledge all of the charges. It's true that she committed premeditated murder against people of the god's name, that an AA performed a life search on her behalf, and that there was another murder while she was in hiding. Wait, so all of that is true? I voted for her in the accidental manslaughter, but why people of the god's name? I actually did think about that. We talked about this before as well, I remember that. Like, why people of the god's name? It's either because once all of the people of the god's names are dead, the power of the god disappears, or maybe as each name of the god dies, more power returns to the god, and the god then becomes more powerful and can do things. And maybe Vishnu gave Asha some sort of mission of like, hey, you need to do this so that some sort of big disaster in the future can be avoided. But that's just a random theory without anything to base on. Or rather, the thing that I'm basing it on is that I think Asha is one of the protagonists. She is morally ambiguous. And also, not every protagonist needs to be a good person. So I just think there's a reason behind why she does it, and it's not just like random, oh, I want to kill all of the Kuberas. There's of course some reason behind it. Call it the freaking popcorn, he's a menace. He's just enjoying it, and it's the curry popcorn as well. Do you guys think curry popcorn would taste good? Like, I am one of those weird people that like eating salty popcorn. I actually like salty popcorn. Like, sweet popcorn is nice, and I guess you can always go with mix of like sweet and salty. But salty popcorn is kinda really nice. And when I was in Japan last year, 2025, I for the first time had caramel popcorn, which I was kind of surprised, but I mean, there was no reason for it to taste bad, but I was surprised by how much I did enjoy it. Curry sodas would for sure suck. But popcorn, I just imagine, it is just corn that has been popped, and curry is good. Only she might be that it would get too soggy with curry sauce. Yeah, if it's a sauce, it would get soggy. But what if it's like just curry powder around the popcorn? The powder would work better, I think. I should make something like that. cooking stream? It wouldn't be much of a cooking stream, actually. It literally would just be popping popcorn, like making popcorn, and then getting some curry powder and then mixing it together or something. What on earth is Mirha here to defend here for? However, everyone we need to think about the reason that Asha killed these people. If Asha is simply a hideous murderer, then why on earth would she come all the way to Aero Plateau and let herself be captured without any resistance? Well, some of the 10 MCs are villains, like Sagara and Maruna, so does it matter that Asha is an MC? Yeah, that's why I said that some protagonists are bad people. But also, well, Asha and while Sagara and Maruna fill the roles of villains at the moment, I fail to consider them as villains, if you get what I mean. I consider them as antagonists, but antagonists and villains are different things. I think all of us are smart enough to understand that. Because they are bad people, but it's also that they are technically from the Shura clan, and while the Shuras are being portrayed as the bad, evil monsters, they're also trying to do something to survive, to revive someone, to do something. I bet Kurigom eats curry popcorn once a week, probably. I just don't think that necessarily any Kubera character might be a villain. Like from the protagonist for sure. Antagonist, sure, but villain, I probably wouldn't put the title on them. Here, did I skip one? Okay, I skipped one, my bad. This one. Now, what you see here is the live search result from year N11. As was explained before, these are the locations of the Kuberas after killing the 28th person, and the 29th one could not be found. Here, the 29th person who died at the start of the year, N12 was an Ilov. It must be one of these two. I will now erase one of the dots. The 3 people who died in unsolved cases are these 3 dots in southwest Ilov. What's the difference between antagonists and villains? I should have said antagonists. I get that. Sometimes it's just easier in your brain to think villain. And well, there would have been more murders after that, but there's no way for me to know exactly where they were, so I will omit it for now. What I want to show you all is this part. Huh? What's she doing? Looks like she's erasing almost all of them. I got some cheese next to me and I took a minor cheese break. It's Parmesan. All the spots that I have marked with an X are areas destroyed by Shura attacks. As any high ranker here will know, these were the so-called Red Sky incidents. Asha knew that these Red Sky incidents were going to occur, because she met a god and received an oracle when she was in Karte. An oracle? Asha received an oracle? Really? Can we trust it? Let's just keep listening for now. I mean, the oracle makes sense, which is the entire thing I kept on talking about of the encounter with Vishnu. But we're not entirely sure if Vishnu said, kill all the people named Kubera so that the Shuras are not going to kill all these places. I don't think that that was the oracle. Asha knew that the Shuras were after the people named Kubera, and she also knew that the Red Sky incident would cause even greater damage if she let them live. So she found and eliminated these people in advance who would have been a source of trouble. As a result, in places where Asha hunted down and killed someone, the number of sacrifices was minimized to just 1, whereas places where Asha could not find the people named Kubera ended up being completely destroyed. I do not deny the fact of Asha's murder itself, but her murders were not for personal reasons, rather they were for the sake of saving more lives. This is why, in consideration of this purpose of hers, I feel that her sentence must be decided upon leniently. That does make sense, but still, it's murder. Wait, then why didn't Asha discuss this with anyone before? Why would she make a decision about a matter which involves the lives of countless people, on what authority? It's a good question. Why did Asha decide on her own without telling anyone else? It was for your sake, everyone. If Asha had told us about this in advance, it would have led to a long dispute over the issue of whether to track down and kill the people named Kubera, or to try to protect them, and even if it leads to greater damage. I actually wonder. Okay. If we sacrifice the few for the many, or the many for the few. So, think about this. Maybe Mirha is actually going to mention this. Maybe someone is going to mention this. If Asha went to Saha, or anyone, she did went to someone because someone apparently did the scan for her, right? But if she went to Saha, and Saha was like, okay, we need to discuss this with everyone, and there was an AA meeting, and Asha would be there, Kazak would be there, Kazak's daughter would be there, the priests, all of them would be there, and so on. And they would decide on something. And let's say that decision would be, let's go around the world as fast as possible and gather all the Kuberas, all the people named Kubera, in one city, so we know where the Shuras are going to attack. And then you have all of the AAs, the strong A's, A pluses. You got Kazak, and technically, because Brilith, maybe you even got Agni. They didn't know about Agni, so we can't count Agni, but technically he could have been there. So, with all these people, would they have been capable of stopping the attack of Maruna? I recommend to play Ace Attorney OST in your head for these episodes, lol. Igiyari! Objection! Yeah, the taco, I saw it, I'm stretching. Little piece of Mexican food. You snack. Ugh. We would have all shared the guilt for that. But Asha carried this guilt all by herself. In exchange for not telling us and getting her own hands dirty by committing murder, she alone was burdened with the guilt that we all should have to share, and chose to become a murderer. If that was her intention, then it's not a bad thing. I will finish my statement here. I hope you will give Asha a favorable sentence for her just cause. She shouldn't be executed. Yeah. Well, Irie, what do you think? Does Mira's statement seem right to you? No. Something strange. Why is everyone agreeing with her? This is not a just cause. This is so not right. If it were me, I wouldn't have done it. Making up some plausible excuse to cover up her actions doesn't make her original intent disappear. Lilia, bring in the halves. Who are those halves? What are halves doing at this meeting? Let me ask you, does killing a half count as murder? No, of course not. It's not legally considered a murder yet. That's right, killing a half isn't legally a murder yet. That also applies to the halves that Asha killed. The 29 accidental manslaughter case didn't include halves. These are the acquaintances of the halves that Asha killed. They are friends and family, remembering their buried loved ones whose deaths were not even treated as murders. Now I'm going to talk about what Asha used Hoti Vishnu 1,000 times for, as well as how she managed to acquire her remarkable magic ability. Did she somehow absorb power from killing Shuras? Yeah, then they would say Hound Willarf. Okay. We continue on. Asha's Divine Affinity is known to be 515, but it's only because old testing devices can only measure up to 4 digits. Her real Divine Affinity is 10,515. This number wasn't accepted properly since it's so extremely different from most magicians, but there are several other people whose Divine Affinity has been recorded low, so this is in itself not terribly unusual. A representative example is Jibril Aziz, deceased 10 years ago, with an actual Divine Affinity of over 10,000. That's Brilith's mother? I knew about that. Really? I've never heard that before. Honestly, when you think about the powers of her magic, it makes no sense that the Divine Affinity would be so low. Jibril even killed Rakshasas on her own. Divine Affinity is almost entirely inborn, and even if you try and to train it, the effect are minimal. One could equip a godly item, but if the item is detected by the testing device, you fail the test. The common sense tells us Asha's Divine Affinity must have been high since she was a child. However, Spirit's mom, yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Lilia Shu, the branch president of Aero Plateau Magic Guild. I'm from the planet Karta, and I was second best in my class from the time I entered EOS, the only magic academy on Karta until my graduation. The person who entered the school with me and was top of our class the entire time is the priestess Mirha sitting right over there. As you all know, Asha is also from the planet Karta. Asha was remarkably intelligent, surprising everyone at the Magic Academy by memorizing all 400 areas of the Karta waterway system at just 7 years old. Now, how were Asha's grades at the academy? First place? She's just said Mirha and Lila were the top 2. Alright, then third place? You probably all expect her grades to be high, but unfortunately Asha never even entered the Magic Academy. She got a perfect score on the written exam, but she couldn't meet the basic entrance requirement, Divine Affinity of 300. You may be thinking, maybe her Divine Affinity was over 10,000 back then as well, but it was displayed wrong. But that isn't so. Asha really had almost no Divine Affinity. Her magical powers were just as terrible as her low Divine Affinity too. Isn't that right, Priestess Mirha? Please answer truthfully, Mirha. We can get more witnesses from Karta, and some of them would be officials from the Eos Magic Academy. It's true. Asha had almost no magical abilities at the time, so she chose a career as a scholar instead of as a magician, and she entered a regular academy instead of the Magic Academy. Claude, you son of a gun. Thank you for answering, Priestess Mirha. Ultimately, this means that Asha used some unknown method to increase her Divine Affinity to over 10,000. These are the records of Asha Hoti Vishnu uses. After mostly sporadic uses until N6, the number of uses increased dramatically starting in N7. There are a lot of records of her using it several times in a row, in same places. What could Asha have been doing at the time? Nah. Aw, he took the hand of the crying half. The halves here will testify regarding these dates, since these are the dates on which their family and friends were brutally slaughtered. Did you know that too? No, not that. If you look here, the target of the spell divides into two at almost the same location. One of them is herself, the other is the victims. This is evident when you compare these with the records of murder spells examined at the trial for the accidental murders before. When you look at these records together, Asha practiced these lethal spells on halves, and her purpose in using Hoti Vishnu at this time was to revive those who died more quickly than expected, as well as to reset her own number of spell uses when she ran out of spells used during magic practice. But since the number of Hoti Vishnu uses in Asha's own energy cannot be reset, the time when each murder ended appeared to have probably been the time when she used up all of her Hoti Vishnu for the day, or when she ran out of vigor. Breaking a spell by killing halves, that's terrible. Saw holding the hand of another woman when his fiancé is watching. I mean, they're not really in a good relationship. They are fiancés, but they don't really... I don't think either of them really care about that. It probably is some political thing. She's not the only person who kills halves. Regardless of how she killed them, it's not exactly murder, but would that really make her Divine Affinity go up? Question. I understand that Asha practiced magic using halves and brutally killed them, But what does it have to do with determining her sentence? Of course, I think that Asha should be severely punished, but that should only be because she killed humans, not halves. Her sentence should not be increased because of how she killed halves. Let's not lose sight of the focus of this case. Of course, I'm not trying to discuss her sentence based on the fact that she killed halves. However, it means that we could perhaps doubt Asha's just cause. As you can see here, Asha went from using Hoti Vishnu less than 10 times a day at first, to using it over 50 times daily. Just as with the other deadly spells, the daily number of users increased tremendously. It may be understandable in a real fight against high-rank Shuras, but its growth speed seems much too dramatic considering that she was practicing on halves. Professional racist. Stepan hands out his freaking business card. It's me, Stepan Dacia. The 790 is my ranked points in being a racist. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Was there something special about the halves who died? It may hurt to say, but we absolutely need your testimony to properly punish the criminal. Please say the original name of the halves who died. Kubera, 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 Kubera. That's right, even the halves whom Asha killed were named after the gods. The results of the life search show that 61 Kuberas died from when Asha transferred here until the start of N12. I don't even know what 790 is, it's just there. It was given to you by a god. It's your divine affinity or something. That would be a pretty... Would it be a low divine affinity considering Asha is... No wait, Asha was... Let me scroll up again. Asha was below the 300 that was needed to register. And her actual one is 10,500 something. 10,515. So, would 790 be considered good or bad? Because 10,000 is of course irregular. "29 humans were registered as accidental deaths. The other 32 were halves, and even then she was only punished for one of them on a charge of destruction of property, because the halves had a guarantor. The other 31 cases were not even reported. If halves were recognized as human beings in our society, this incident would have already come to light. But this isn't the time or place for discussing the human rights of halves, so I'll skip that, since I know that even those who really hate halves have their own sufferings to account for. No matter how many halves without guarantors that Asha killed, that itself is not a crime, but they were all halves named after the gods. Why is Riot Games opening itself? I just saw the Riot Games thing popping up on my screen. Is freaking Vanguard trying to do something against me? Is it a kernel level anti-cheat trying to do something right now? Why the frick did the Riot thing just pop up? And Asha hunted down those specific halves named after a god to practice magic. As a result, her daily spells uses and divine affinity grew rapidly. I'm not sure if Asha's attorney has anything to say about this. You can enter magic school with just 300, so it ain't bad. Does committing brutal murders for the sake of enhancing her personal magic abilities also count as just cause? That's speculation. Having a name after a god is simply treated as blasphemy. There's no special influence on the individual. What basis is there for her magic abilities increasing by killing them? If that's how you feel, then let me tell you something. It may sound absurd, but you're the one who brought up the oracle first. And since neither of us can prove anything, you're free to believe whatever you like. I also received an oracle during the Great Upheaval. You assume that Asha's oracle is true, and the god that I met would not be the same one that she met. Even gods have conflicts amongst themselves. The god I met was Surya, the god of light. At the time of the great upheaval, Surya was worried that his friend Kubera was in great danger and he might even disappear. At the time I wasn't sure how a crisis like that might occur, but now I think I understand. Kubera's power was split between the people named after him. Since Asha practiced spells on people with divine power, her magic abilities grew as quickly as if she had practiced on high-ranked Shuras. And while the reason for the increase of her divine affinity is unclear, this would not be unrelated to divine power either. You may call it a speculation, but between her sudden increase in abilities from having no magical talent on card, and those numerous instances of using deadly spells against halves named after a god, I'm not sure if there could be a more persuasive explanation for the relationship between the two. I don't buy this just cause about her wanting to reduce damage to people either. The Shuras killed Kuberas during the Red Sky incident, and Asha likewise hunted down and killed Kuberas. But isn't it strange? Asha, who supposedly did it for a just cause, has actively helped the Shuras achieve their goal more quickly right now. We can't be sure of the Shuras' exact purpose, but it's clear that by all of the Kuberas dying, something favorable to the Shuras will happen. Hunting down and killing Kuberas to try to reduce the immediate damage is only helping the Shuras to achieve their goal more quickly. It would have been far more obvious to tell everyone about this in advance and then use every means possible to stop the Shuras after bringing the Kuberas inside the barrier. The fact that she single-handedly tracked down and killed the Kuberas in spite of this can only be seen as for the sake of improving her own magical ability, as well as for helping the Shuras achieve their goal more quickly. I'm thinking about this because Kubera is on the side of... He's not really on the side of Sagara and the other Shuras, but he is working together with them. And if their goal is to kill off all of the Kuberas, which kinda seems to be the case, he would be kinda working towards killing himself. So, I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's true that she received an oracle from a god, or which god she received it from, but the gods only ever give us the right to choose. It's up to the humans to make the final decision. Take responsibility for your own actions, Asha Rahiro. Oh my god, it didn't load. Please enter the meeting hall within 5 minutes of the final vote beginning. Those with a rank of less than 101 may participate in the final vote after reviewing the contents of the meeting. At first I bought into what Mirha said, but after hearing Saha, it sounds like he's right. There were years before the Red Sky incident happened. If Asha had told us in advance, we could have protected the Kuberas and people living in the village could have even evacuated. Those poor people died without us even knowing about it because she didn't tell anyone. I'm not entirely sure about the situation, because Kubera, the story loves to gaslight the characters and the readers. So is Saha currently trying to gaslight the people into getting rid of Asha because he is on something else of a side? Or I just don't have enough information to really even think about anything. If we had also known about the attack on Altera in advance, we could have done something to prepare for it, like recruiting the priest candidates. The whole thing about hiding it from us to reduce the damages seems like a lie. Do you see how Asha couldn't refute a single thing that he said? I thought she would have at least tried to defend herself. I was for her during the accidental manslaughter trial because she was such an exemplary person and so young at the time. For her means as in she's innocent. But then are the Shuras trying to attack Grand Hello right now doing that because of people named Kubera too? I wish we could see recent results of the live search. There isn't anyone named Kubera here in this city, is there? No way. If there were, would Asha have just left them alone? Poor Lise again. I wonder why Lise isn't talking up. It's like, hey, I am also named Kubera. Shouldn't that count for something? But maybe she's still holding back. Because at the very beginning of the story, Asha said, don't reveal your name to others. It's dangerous. First of all, because apparently it's blasphemy to be called after a god. And second of all, I'm just thinking, I'm also thinking that maybe, I said it before, that Asha is not working alone. There was this talk of this hooded person, which we don't know if it's an organization, we don't really know who it was. It wasn't Claude, I think, unless I'm forgetting that it was Claude. So, her saying to Lise that she shouldn't reveal that she's Kubera could be also a safety, so that nobody else from the organization learns that she's dead. I don't know if the Akatsuki are going to come. Linia usually wears heels, but isn't wearing any for some reason. The least shown main characters. Which has long sleeve, it's not a mistake. Wee woo! Wee woo! Wee woo! Wee woo wee woo! Sleeves rolled down was when she traveled through the water tunnel. Pro half right, but unfortunately most magicians are not. Yeah, halves are a difficult discussion. We got 2 more chapters. This one and the next one. Yeah, we got 2 more. So this is the penultimate chapter for the day. Attention everyone. As a result of the tally of the votes, the final verdict is that the execution will be carried out of Hotiyama. The first phase shall be carried out momentarily at the time of Earth. And tomorrow morning, 12 hours from now, we will hear her final statement at the time of creation. If there is anything to reconsider in her final statement, we may remove Hotiyama and reset the date for phase 2 of the execution. Otherwise, she will spend 12 more hours like that before her body is collected. Jeez, Hotiyama. Oh my god, Lise! I have to find Lise! Phew. So this is how it's going to end. So confused. Thought she was a talented and upright person. Can't believe she got her abilities from stepping all over other people. Lorraine didn't come. I guess no matter how terrible Asha's crimes are, she's still her prized student. She didn't look very happy before in the conference hall either. I just hope this doesn't get between her and Saha. Lorraine's not here, huh? I guess I should have expected it. Rouge, did you vote after looking over the report of the meeting? My goodness, it's shocking for me, but it must be even more shocking for you, considering you're the fan club leader of Asha's thing. Shocking? Well, it might have been, but I'm okay now. When I first found out before the meeting, it really felt like a smack to the back of my head. But now I've gotten much better. Wait, you knew before the meeting? She's just now learning all of that info as well. Interesting. I'll say one thing. I find what Asha did, killing and reviving the same people continuously, just so messed up. It really is. It really is. There's no other thing saying it. It's torture. Because the other person, maybe, like, before getting killed first, if it wasn't an ambush, put up a fight. Which is why, which is, like, something. And when they got revived, they were confused at first, but maybe put up a fight again. But by the 3rd time, are you still putting up a fight if the person killed you twice already? What by the 10th time? Are you still putting up a fight, or are you just going to let it happen to you? Just imagine getting killed 20 times. That's... Ugh. Of course, my sister is the one who told Saha about this. I also received a document and went to Saha. My sister said to make sure that I tell people that Asha did it if she dies a mysterious death after informing Saha of this. Funny, right? It's even funnier because it's not a joke. Rouge. You know, I just don't understand how, after using Hoti Vishnu over 1,000 times to kill and revive Haas, Asha wouldn't even use Hoti Vishnu even once for someone who really needed it. How can someone be like that? Asha, be careful, there's someone going around killing Kuberas. Yeah, Asha. Yeah, Asha, you tell it to others. Make sure to tell it to everyone. Oops, misclick. Almost opened Chrome. Anyway, since the 3 unresolved cases were declared murders, I voted in favor of execution. It's a pretty objective reason, right? I voted according to the law. Right, speaking of Hoti Vishnu, isn't it a bit strange? The fact that Asha didn't use Hoti Vishnu for anyone else must have ultimately been to hide the fact that she had used it. But why would she have saved the Priestess of Chaos? It was because Lise was there, right? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Asha was XP grinding on their loved ones. I still wonder how that works. Is it specifically because they're named Kubera that she grew stronger and got mere divine power affinity every single kill? Or is it just that the more you use magic, the more your divine affinity grows? Corey, I think the comments are far behind because either my connection is bad, which it is because I only have 1 bar of connection right now, but none of you have talked about any lags, so I hope it's not lagging. But I'm not sure. But why would she have... Like, I'm reading your comments the moment I see them. It's quite laggy, okay. And why would she have saved the Priest of Chaos? She ended up like this because she let people know that she could use Hoti Vishnu at that time. Surely it's not like she couldn't have foreseen the situation. Well, that must be because she figured that saving the Priest of Chaos would be more beneficial to herself, right? Claude, when did you get here? I've been here since the main meeting. The back of your hair sure is pretty, sis. I like your bun. Oh, they're siblings. But at least on Twitch is a bit stable, only delayed. What about my head? How could you just stare at it without saying hi? But seriously, worrying about why Asha brought Theo back to life won't do any good. If Asha could have used that in her own defense, she or Mirha would have said something about it. But judging from the fact that neither of them mentioned it, or it must mean that it wouldn't excuse her for what she did, right? Or it could also mean that revealing the reason for saving Theo could actually work against Asha. That was a YouTube subscription. That was a YouTube subscription. You're watching on Twitch and replying on YouTube. I didn't see the name pop up. Oh wait, that's why. Give me a second. The alerts are in the wrong place. The alerts need to be on top of everything. The alerts were being covered by stuff. But thank you for the sub. Whoever you are, I'm investigating right now. I'm getting that lurker's ass. Kisses. Kisses and hugs. Can I see the recent events in here? Nah, whatever. I'm gonna find out soon enough. But yeah, all of my alerts are Uma Muslima, by the way. Working, so I've just kind of been tanking the stuttering. That's a vibe. I apologize about that. I did one multi-stream last year, which was Digimon, Time Stranger, and it worked fine. There was no lags at all during that. So I'm not even sure if the multi-streaming is the issue, or if it actually just is German internet being the issue. But if I look at my dropped frames, I dropped 153,500 something frames at the moment, which is about 33.7% of the frames I had in this entire stream. Your time gets turned back when you're alive, so you wouldn't know that you died, but for your family and friend watched it happening. That's right. For the people, like if they're actively watching, that's even worse. And revealing the reason for saving Theo could actually work against Asha. A magic failure rate of 50% as a result of this birthday attribute, a career as magician would be fatal. He has excellent resistance to transcendentals, but being a pure blood human and physically we cannot recommend him for a career as a fighter. Born on N1. But it says male. Is that... That's not Theo. That's... It's not been too bad. But it's also not... Damn, conflicted messages. Does... You know what my first thought was? I'm saying it, so I'm just putting it into the air. My first thought was, does Lisa have a sibling? Leda, where's Lise? Ah, Saha just came and took her away a minute ago. Shoot! Were the results of the meeting not good? Yeah, Asha's path was beyond what I expected. I never guessed that she had practiced magic on halves. I thought that I could barely get her a favorable sentence even with the 29 accidental manslaughters and 3 unresolved cases. But then that came up. I wanted to reduce her sentence to imprisonment, but it was all for naught. As of small leg spikes, so not very inconvenient, just technolo. With things having turned out like this, I'm going to have to appeal to her usefulness rather than her sympathy for people. I'm not sure if Saha will listen. Couldn't find her anywhere. Run! Huh? Lise! Sorry for not being able to find her right away when you asked me to a while ago. Sorry? I should be thanking you, Saha. Lise, are you okay? You didn't hear anything bad, did you? By something bad, do you mean about Asha getting executed by Hoteyama? Yeah. I didn't know, but apparently 12 hours after having Hoteyama cast on you, you look the way you would if you lived out your entire natural lifespan. That's why they say the execution is split into 3 stages, where they use Hoteyama to threaten and intimidate the person. Don't answer honestly, they remove the spell right. If you don't answer honestly, they remove the spell right away and kill you. Jeez, where did you hear all that? I told her. It's just buffered every few seconds, but I always assume my connection is still... Nah, Haku. I think you also talked about recently having issues with internet or something, but just know it's Germany. It's Germany. Especially my little village. Bunny Town. I'm coming up with names for my little village, by the way. No, sure. This is all lore. It's not widely known among regular people, but this child isn't exactly a regular person, so I thought she had the right to know. Very worried I'd be shocked, since I have a short lifespan myself. Aw, that's so sweet of you. Lise. Das Deutschland Internet and is repeat casting Hoti Wissen. Yeah, Deutschland indeed. You know what you wrote looks more Dutch than German. Deutschland. I never thought of living a long life anyway. By the way, I'm worried about Asha. She may have her mouth shut tight right now, but she'll definitely say something, right? With all of that evidence they have, it's not like she can get rid of the fact about her murders, and it really is Asha's own fault. But still, there must be some kind of reason for her to avoid the death penalty. Since she's already saved me several times and kept me with her all this time, I don't think she can be an entirely bad person. There will definitely be something. I'm sure of it. Following day at the time of creation. First I will tell you about the execution method that was carried out 12 hours ago at the time of Earth. After surrounding the executioner and the offender with a circle of flowers, Hoteyama has cast these flowers included within the range of the spell. Since Hoteyama is a spell which applies to everyone within a certain radius, including the caster, once all of the flowers have wilted, 12 hours later, it means that the spell has definitely been applied to the offender. The spell is applied to the caster? Wouldn't that mean that Claude would also die? Say, hey Saha, why don't you let me do the execution? Be quiet. The flowers are used for confirmation, since there are people whose appearance hardly changes if they only have a very short time left to live. Now, we will hear Asha's final statement after being enchanted with Hoteyama 12 hours ago. Huh? Did they even use the spell on her? I guess her hair has gotten a bit longer. Yeah, it seems like Asha has... It is said that you will get to the end of your lifetime. So it looks like Asha also, just like Lise, only had 10, 15 more years or something? Boom, 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 boom. It's longer than expected, huh? But the next chapter will be even. Even what? Even what? Orange ones are curry flavored. And after the chapter is so long. The time of Earth is 6 to 8 p.m. Around sunset when God Kubera's hairs turn gold. He's the god of Earth after all. The time of creation is 6 to 8 a.m. around sunrise. Since God has the ability to see a person's lifespan, he already knew Asha would be dying soon. I'm sure. Oh, that's why he was offering to do the execution? I'm sure you will get even more revelations about Asha's past in the next episode in the chapters. I don't know, okay. Twitch has an anti-femboy agenda for real, for real. Armpit licking Bakushin alert. Haku, calm down. Now he's onto something. He's onto something. Because if I don't think the Bakushin alert popped up earlier. I don't remember what alert it was. It was a YouTube subscription, but I don't remember what YouTube subscription was. I could use the armpit. You got a hydrate redeem. Yeah, I had to close that. Something happened. I'm hydrating. I'm hydrating. Finishing my bottle of water here. Which alert was this? Oh, this was the Bakushin alert is my Twitch subscription alert. This one. Absolute Bakushin. I could, instead of the absolute Bakushin, I could put the arm licking Bakushin there. And the YouTube alert earlier that people couldn't see was sub for sure. Which it was Tamamo Cross, which is this one. Kevin at it again. Kevin, you're the goat. Anyways, yeah, I hydrate here. Look, look, look. Let's see. This is the last chapter for today. Murmur, murmur. Claude, you must have known this already. Clearly, it doesn't take much to spot someone without much time left, but it didn't seem like anyone would believe me if I said anything. Well, you think that someone with such a short amount of time remaining would go around committing these complicated and bothersome crimes for some kind of personal profit? He's going to be dead soon anyways. Asha Rahiro, if you have anything you wish to say, tell us before it's too late. People have chosen to execute you using Hotiyama, so that they could at least hear you defend yourself. Going to keep your mouth shut, even when I'm giving you a chance to make a final statement. I can't give you another chance. Promise me, no matter what happens, you'll believe me. Okay, I promise, Asha. Could I say it for her instead? Huh? How did she get in here? Saha let her in. Sure, go ahead, Lise Hayas. As the person who was close to Asha recently. Thank you, Saha. Then I am someone who Asha vouched for, and I have been indebted to Asha from when we were in Altera until we came here to Aero Plateau. From finding food and a place to sleep, to the Temple of Earth and the Test of the Swords. Asha has always brought me to where I need to be and helped me in many ways. Because Asha gave money to the Temple of Earth, I was able to get a gold knight, and I drew the Sword of Return. So what I want to say is, what Asha wants to do is probably the same as me. Of course I can't keep depending on Asha forever. But there's something I really want to do. Asha said she would teach me how to do it. Asha's the one who taught me about the Sword of Return too, and about practicing Transcendentals and Bhavati Kubera. If it were just sympathy, she would have just given me some money and handed me off to another guardian. But the reason that she went through the trouble of bringing me with her everywhere and going to the Temple of Earth and Temple of Chaos together is probably because we have the same objective. So I think that's why she helped me. That objective doesn't really have much to do with how much time we have left, since we know that we won't survive after achieving it. To someone who's trying to achieve something great, even at the cost of their own life, it doesn't matter how much longer they will live afterwards, since that's the goal and that's the end. So, what was Asha trying to do by helping you? Well, she wanted to kill the high-rank Shuras who caused the Red Sky incident. High-rank Shuras? Why would she? No way. Can I reveal my name? They have to keep it a secret even with the things the way it is? I'll help fill in the details. Please sit down. First of all, I apologize for unintentionally giving an improper defense during a meeting. As you can see, since Asha's keeping her mouth shut, I had no choice but to tell you about Asha's objective based on my own investigations. But hearing what Lise just said, I think it sounds credible. Since the fall of Carter was also caused by high-rank Shuras, if Asha wanted to get revenge on those high-rank Shuras, received an oracle about how to achieve that revenge. Of course she deserves to be censored for sacrificing so many people. But if Asha's revenge really was intended for the high-rank Shuras... And the Giga Chat Sparky. That's the lurker over there. But if Asha's revenge really was intended for the high-rank Shuras, then I feel that we need to delay her execution here, since that is something necessary for us all. I agree, with the high-rank Shuras threatening us, we can't kill a magician like this who has a divine affinity of over 10,000. However, Asha's magic abilities were formed, we need those powers right now. Asha may be a murderer, but she doesn't threaten us all. At least she didn't kill anyone except Kubera's, and she let herself be caught without any resistance so far, right? I don't think it's a bad idea to delay her execution for now. If she's not a threat to us. As a human, she doesn't have much time left to live anyway. If we just tie her to a barrier stone, the better thing to do for everyone's sake. Phew, her execution has been postponed for now. At least seemed more trouble than I thought. Terrified of what would have happened if she finds out the truth like this. What would happen if she finds out the truth like this? So, what part of the truth does Lise not know yet? Does Lise only know... No, Lise knows that they were Kuberas that got killed. Lise did not reveal that she is a Kubera, which... I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I would have revealed it at this point. Because it shows that Asha doesn't kill all the Kuberas. But actually the only reason she didn't kill Lise was because she's the daughter of Rao. That's the only reason why that Kubera survived. Mirha, actually the truth that you speak of. I already delivered everything to Lise before you got here yesterday. What? What are you talking about? You gave it to Lise without even getting my permission? I'm sorry. It was just so frustrating to sit back and watch. Did you notice? Lise said that she jumped off a cliff countless times in order to learn Bhavati Kubera. Asha drove Lise into becoming such a wreck when the child didn't even need to be so desperate. I thought that even if it shocked her, Lise needed to know the truth. Shouldn't you have discussed it with me first? Even still, how could you just inform her without saying a word to me? I apologize for that. Actually, I tried to get permission first, but then Saha suddenly showed up yesterday. I thought that I wouldn't have a chance to tell Lise the truth if Saha were to take Lise away and cut off her communication with us, so I used my own judgment. Otiyamas applies on radius around the caster, by the way, not the including the caster. Okay. Mirha. Asha. So Asha has a short lifespan, just like me. Did Asha already know about her own lifespan? How did she feel when she found out? Still, I'm relieved. At least the execution has been postponed for now. Huh? Am I allowed to look at this now, right? Here, don't ever show this to anyone else. Read it over by yourself once this is all finished. Yeah, applying to caster would be a cool drawback, but kind of insane. Yeah, it kind of would be like... You would kind of... Every time the person would cast it, they would kind of like sacrifice themselves for something. Which would bring up an entire new social structure. Because they would probably have executioners who are also criminals, and they, instead of getting brutally executed, they get to use Hotiyama to die of old age instead of getting their head cut off or something. I don't know. I made a copy of what Mirha was looking at, so you can read exactly what she wrote. I put this together for you, so don't think badly about it. What's this? It's... Oh, it's the information that her village survived? Truth that you didn't know. The true story about the people you wanted to meet the most. Banned from Lee's Hayas. Oh, I didn't recognize it was a cat's tail. I didn't recognize at all that it was the cat's tail. I thought it was like, you know, like a dreadlock or something. I thought it was green dreadlocks, and the cat being the same hair color as Lee's was a plot point, and because Kaz wanted to present that to Lee's at the very beginning. But I really thought the person had green dreadlocks that had the same color as Lee's and was like the brother or something, like the hidden brother. Kaz Lane and Haz Lane. Huh? It's actually affected by the red skies and Asher's situation is merely an excuse. I can't read most of this stuff. Staring someone to keep your own up. Okay. Naturally, still not infected mouth shut. And she was neglected this for almost a month. At the time when she needed psychological treatment and counseling, she had no choice but to defend. Okay. Considering she had a lot of free time until the temple opened, and she just spent her time not doing much until the test of the sword, it would have been fine if she had left from Altera later. The reason Asha rushed was to stop Lise from running into her friends from her hometown. Asha attempted to improve Lise's ability with the godly item, she failed to do something as basic as introducing her to proper teacher. This is because she would end up following the teacher more than Asha. If Lise had met a proper teacher, she may have grown more attached to her teacher than Asha. Without application on the board, transport. Lise's real name is Kubera. Okay, so Mirha came theorized that her real name is Kubera. I think it's just a theory, but so everybody who read this knows that theory. I've been killing. It's possible that Asha may have contemplated or attempted killing Lise, but judging from the way that Lise has continued to stay by Asha until now, it appears that Lise never found out about the attempted murder. Overall first place in year test of the swords. Number of wooden panels smashed 51. Nerves test 99 points. The Bio Infinity total of 2 value. Yes. Abilities as a fighter are the greatest on this planet, next to Kazakh. To the extent that it's hard to believe she is a pure-blood human. She is far too valuable of a talent for Asha to kill her like she has done to the other Kuberas thus far. The first time in a while the stream ain't laggy and all you're talking about is armpits. And now that it's over, the stream is laggy again. That just means I need to talk more about armpits. What's your favorite armpit from Kubera? Asha may be a remarkable magician, yeah. Lise should have wondered at least once why Asha always kept her trap within the scope of her control. Judging from her answer when I suggested we leave together, it looks like she never really properly questioned Asha's intentions even once. If Lise had ignored Asha from the start, revealed where she was from to other people, and asked for help or heard news about her hometown friends, yeah, she would have lived an entirely different life, but it also would have maybe led to... It's a big what-if scenario. Think back 10 seconds whenever it gets laggy, then again when it lags again. This point Pyro is probably done streaming. No, I'm not done streaming yet. I'm looking at this panel here with Lise and the girl that also fought against one of the Shuras in Atera. Is that Irie? Is that how Irie looked in I don't know. And then also the brothers. She could have escaped earlier. From someone close enough to kill her at any given moment, who weighs the value of her own existence. Of her very existence. Oti Maru. Lise's faith in Asha is far too strong at this point to tell her all of this now. How long in the end of the chapters? I doubt he's done already. No, I'm looking at the past. I will just tell her about her hometown friends after Asha is sentenced to imprisonment and has been separated from her. You have to hide the fact that Asha deceived her. Because Lise is Rao's daughter. Until the very end, I would just like to protect that smile of hers that resembles her father. And that's where we get the depression eyes. I like your talk. He might be at the big reveal now. Okay, what is the big reveal? That Mirha knew that she's the daughter of Rao, or like she knows. It's not a theory anymore, and that she knows that her real name is Kubera. Is that the big reveal? Is the depression eye the big reveal? The depression, I must be the big reveal. Next chapter, your justice and mine. To be continued. Reached end. The excerpts. Lise trusted Asha like she said she would and defended her. Lise's body is changing. She's going through puberty? No! Paperwork shows that she's now... Oh, okay. In Season 1, Episode 11, Lise was 163 centimeters and 56 kilograms. But her profile and her paperwork shows that she's now 166.2 centimeters and 55.1 kilograms. Which makes her taller and heavier than me. The next chapter will be the longest chapter so far, even longer than The Night It Rained Fire.